All right, this is Rust Belt Bastards, episode number 5. My name's Matt.
Toss my phone away like I was tossing
Just chuck
the
it.
coronavirus.
Just chuck it. Just pull the pin and toss it.
I don't got it, Mom. What are you talking about?
You know, it's kind of funny. I was just thinking that I feel kind of like Tim the Toolman Taylor because I'm wearing like Michigan.
He used to wear that kind of stuff.
Henry Ford Community College.
Yeah,
well, I know, but on a podcast, right, where it's broadcasted,
Yeah.
right, he makes it known that he's from Detroit or Michigan in general.
Yeah.
So every episode of Home Improvement in the 90s,
he wore something.
he wore always like
Lions,
or Grand Valley, like Detroit Red Wings.
Yeah.
He'd always wear like all sorts of
Something.
Michigan stuff, right?
Which
It's pretty cool.
You give like
I
homage
liked
to where
it.
you're
I
born.
liked it. So.
Oh, I'm Jason.
Jason.
They always say weird. Hey,
Yo, yeah, you're
Jay.
Hey.
hey.
Terrible introduction. So we're Rust Belt Bastards.
That's pretty good.
And
I beg to differ.
Well, the funny thing is the episode today is about crime. But the funny thing is the fact that you pulled out a finger gun. You could actually get arrested for pulling out a finger gun.
It's brandishing.
It's brandishing a weapon. Pew!
I get that all the time when I pull
What's
out
that
my
loaded
penis.
with?
Like, whoa! Don't whip that thing out.
I'm day drunk. Get ready to see my dick.
Holy shit! That's hilarious.
Oh man, that you can get arrested for.
Yeah.
It's called indecent exposure. Just FYI.
There's not a lot of that. Hey, so we're supposed to be talking about crime.
Yeah, this is
right?
an episode of crime.
So this sort of ties in with crime.
I like it.
Okay, so speaking of cocks,
Nothing is taboo on Rust Belt
speaking of
Bastards.
cocks flying out into public, it wasn't mine, but when
They call me Nick, the Dick. Is that a foot long?
Well, I
Yes,
can't
it
remember
is,
what that's
man.
from.
Oh, dude, it's from is it?
What is that from?
It's a Tom Hanks movie. I can't remember which. Oh, Bachelor Party.
Bachelor
Party.
That's what it was.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
For you youngins out there, look it up. It's a good movie.
I know, right? So, what were you?
If you have the mental capacity to stay in front of something longer than like 5 minutes. So terrible. We're just going off.
I love it.
So,
I love it.
Back to penises in public.
Wow. Okay. All right.
When I was in downtown Detroit doing security, way back when, there was a guy, and he would come out. He was mentally unstable, right?
Shocker.
Obviously,
Okay.
yeah, shocker. But he would pull his pants down right in the front of public.
He wouldn't do the trench coat thing?
Oh no!
kinda
It was pants just like
Wow,
that, right?
wow.
And just start jerking it in front of all the women that are crossing the street, because like it always happened around lunchtime.
Okay.
And so Detroit now it is downtown area. There's a lot of stuff to do. They made it nice, like for people to go there and do things. Quicken Loans is there, Rocket Mortgage, all those companies, and so there's heavy traffic. And a heavy traffic of good-looking
heavy
women.
traffic in order to show your penis.
Yeah, I know, right? And it was in traffic. How about that? Like, it was. Totally stop traffic and just, like, start jerking it. And so my radio was connected to, it's the central hub for, like, communication downtown area.
Okay.
And then they were linked with the DPD, right? So we're like, if we saw it, I'm like, hey, David's over here again.
If this was a military, it'd be a Section 8. We're like, we need a guy to be picked up here.
Seriously.
He's showing his dick all over the place.
So, like, women were like, ah! and he's just fucking blasting away on it. So I call it in. The cop's like, we'll be right there. There's cops everywhere downtown.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Not so much anymore, probably.
No, there is.
I
Detroit's
know.
done a good job.
Detroit's actually done, I think, a decent job of like not defunding their police, right?
Yeah.
As if that should be a goal, right? Like, no, with how much crime you got in Detroit, you need more police,
more of it.
right?
so we call it in, and the DPD, they don't want to respond to that shit.
Yeah.
So like, I would have to check in, right? It's like, hey, and so it'd be like, still here. Waiting, he's still like rubbing one out.
Yeah.
He's still at it.
I bet you he
like
works for
5 minutes later, yep, this is me just reporting back in.
Right.
He's still going at it, like right in the middle of the street.
He's got some longevity, folks.
10 fucking minutes later. I am not joking. It was like
Wow.
10 minutes he was out
It's
there.
kind of like a dog humping
And,
your leg. You're like, you might as well just let him finish.
Just let him go. And like, I'm not 10 minutes. That's
Were
a
you
long
like,
time just to be
damn.
plugging away.
That's
I
funny.
was, and like, so I finally called in.
Were people
And
throwing
I'm like-
lotion at him?
I'm like, well, he finished. and then right when I said he finished, because DPD could hear too, the whoop whoop like that. I'm like, you assholes!
Nice.
They'd be laughing at me
They're like,
"Ah,
now
you
that
know,
he's done, there's
you
no
gotta
need to
watch
arrest him
jerk
anymore.
off and come, and then and then they come. It's like,
Literally, not figuratively.
yeah,
Or
it's good.
whatever.
It was good times. It was good times. Bastards.
That's oh man,
Instead of,
that's
like watch
hilarious.
some homeless person jerk off to women.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like terrible. Then,
So
he
if you
looked
guys-
then he looked at me, and I was like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, no.
You're excited. Feel these
I was like, I
nipples.
need to help him out to try to let him unload quicker. Start-
You're like, how can I
I
try
started-
to? How can I try to
I s-
diffuse the
I started
situation?
posing like Playboy spread, more like penthouse spreads, you know? Really.
like George Costanza and Seinfeld when he had those sexy pictures taken, and they're like, "Good
It was-
lord, what is this?"
So it was like me doing boudoir shoots in Detroit while someone's masturbating.
the gay version of glamour shots.
Yep. It's alright.
Awesome. So this topic is obviously about crime, and hence the story about Dick's just walking around in public.
Masturbating in public. Don't
public
do it,
indecent.
folks.
Yeah,
You
don't
can go to
do
jail.
it. You will go
After
to jail.
you finish.
And oh,
Imagine
man.
that a cop like pulls up like I would like fucking let him just
Woo!
right?
Okay, put it away,
Yeah.
bro. Pull up them pants.
try to arrest them mid swing.
I know, right?
It's gonna
Have,
be all
have
over.
you seen? I don't know if it was Johnny Knoxville where he actually acted like an elderly guy, where his pants fell down in the middle of the street, and he was trying to see how many people would help him pull his pants
No
up.
one did that.
No. There were people that would help
Really?
him. Like some were like this, like okay, grab your pants, and he's all like acting like he's like kind of invalid. It was hysterical.
I think like if that really happened when you're that old, that's like you need to do the Eskimo thing and just cut a big chunk of piece of ice out and just fucking push them away. Like you lived a good life.
Like the Hook coming on
When you
stage and
can't
just
pull
like
down
exit
your-
stage
when
left.
you can't pull up your pants anymore, just go off on a block of ice and float away to your freezing fucking death.
Kind of like Elsa from Frozen. It's like, okay, just go off and
Go
go
off.
away. That's awesome. No sisters coming for you, bro.
No.
Like,
It's not a chunk of ice. I drown myself probably at that point, right? You'd die quick.
And then
Can
you just come
imagine,
up like an ice cube?
Well, that's the hardest part is like, can you imagine like your skin sticking to the snow? You're better off going in the water with hypothermia. Just drown.
it's like a Christmas story. Your tongue is stuck to that flagpole.
fucking ice. And your
I
old,
double dog dare
your
you.
old wrinkly skin just like dragging a mile long trying to pull it off.
Be careful with his leg this
Yep.
time. So, but yeah, I just so I'll take a serious turn. I know this is hilarious. I love it. No topic is taboo.
Serious.
Serious crossfire conversation about crime. No, but so obviously in the last couple of years, the crime rate's kind of gone through the roof.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I know, right?
We live
Okay,
in Detroit.
Democrats.
We're all right.
Well, we live out in the
Detroit's
suburbs.
fine. No, Detroit's doing good.
Well, I gave props to the mayor of Detroit, right? And
Right.
he's no
We're
longer the
good.
chief of police now.
Yeah.
I think what's his name, Craig.
Mhm.
He's real good. He actually is thinking about running against Whitmer. I'm not sure if he's actually throwing his hat in the ring, but he's got my vote, right? Especially when
Everything's
he's come
okay.
out and said, "Look."
Well, I'm not gonna say there is shit going on, but at least
Well,
it's
obviously,
just
but they
regular-
haven't defunded the police. They've
No.
refused to do so, right?
Yeah.
Which I think is really good, and it's shown with probably the level of crime is because I haven't heard this. It's basically status quo in Detroit, unfortunately, but you'd
Yeah.
like to see it improve.
Mhm.
And there has been organizations
There has
within
been, though.
Detroit
It
that
has
have improved.
and the pay's actually improved for Detroit,
And that's
cops,
good, and
which
that's
is
good, right?
That should
So
go
the
up,
fact
like,
that you
everywhere.
sit there and you think about it and compare it to say Chicago, in Cook County alone,
What about Seattle? Seattle's doing pretty good, right?
Seattle. just blast
You don't
it off
even hear
into
anything
the
about them
ocean.
anymore, right? But they're like so like.
Seattle is grungy,
I
all
think
right,
the
but
40,
we're not in the 90s
The 49
anymore.
other states are just like, fuck them.
Just blast Oregon, Washington, California into the Pacific Ocean. We'll be better off. And you know, half the state wants to secede and then join Idaho. If you want to join Idaho, that's pretty bad. It's gotten pretty bad.
Idaho's
Yeah.
like, leave us out of this
I know,
shit.
right? Don't put us
Right?
involved. We don't want your policies.
Like, dude, we got meth cooking here. Like, you need to leave us alone.
That's hilarious. Oh man.
I don't know if that's true or not. That's just made up. But
Well,
I would
well,
assume like
speaking
Idaho is a good
Well,
place.
speaking
to
of
do that.
crime and illicit drugs,
Right.
the opioid epidemic. There's over 100,000 deaths last year in opioids alone.
Right.
That are coming in. I think the materials come over from China into Mexico.
Right.
And then they
Damn
make it,
China.
and then they ship it over the
Right.
border, the southern border, and because it's wide open, right? And Joe
Right.
Biden refuses to
It's probably-
lock down the border. There's a massive amount of.
It's probably
fentanyl.
like people just offing themselves because at first they're just unhappy.
They're like,
with their
screw it.
It's
the
like
government's-
people who aren't happy with their marriage and they're stuck with their spouse for pandemic for fucking ever. They're like, fuck this shit.
Opiates are the new cyanide pill. I'm done.
They got
crunch.
like the tooth. They just
No wonder you have a tooth missing back there. I
Yeah,
wondered what that
it
was
happens.
for. It's an opiate. It's an
It
opioid
is.
pill.
meth mouth.
Nice. You shooting it between your toes now?
Give a good blowjobs, right?
Oh, jeez.
So we're
Terrible.
trying to go
But
back.
so good.
I so veer us off all the time, don't I?
I don't like it.
It's
Hey,
all right.
but we have been
You got
talking
me.
about crime.
crimes.
Crime. So, but
Don't
getting back to
drugs
Chicago.
like
Yeah,
meth.
don't do drugs.
Marijuana, you're good, but like, because it's getting legal at places.
Yeah, yeah,
Responsibly.
yeah. Make
If
sure you get it from a
decide to do
reputable
it.
dealer that's legal, right?
I guess so.
Oh boy.
I'm like, who doesn't like a little angel dust in their weed?
Oh yeah. It's like the two little what are those two characters from the movie The Willow? From Willow?
Don't know any. I
it's
watched
hilarious.
the movie, loved the movie, but
Well,
I
no,
can't
they
think
had a
of
love
the
spell, right? And you
Right.
when you said angel dust, I remember when they were playing with the magic potion,
Right.
And it was like fairy dust, and poof, it went in his
It's
face,
like-
and then he falls in
name.
love
So
with the
basically,
cat. 'cause
we
it
were
was the first thing he
indoctrinated
saw.
into like movies that are promoting drugs. That's why I tried them when I was in high school. Willow fucking got me, man.
Damn it! Walking bow-legged ever since.
Itch in my neck, my arm.
But the kind of, oh boy.
Okay.
But no,
All right,
getting back to like
yeah.
kind of the Chicago, like
Right.
there's in Cook County alone that
Yeah.
encompasses Chicago has had 1,000 homicides
Right.
in that county, and that's like a record not seen since I think not since Kurt Cobain put a bullet through his head. Just saying. But yeah, so. They said it was 1994, and I remember April. I can't remember what day.
It was
though,
April
but
24th, I think, or something.
Was it April 24th? Okay.
Sometime around there.
Yeah,
Don't give,
yeah.
We're guesstimating right now.
But either way,
Wouldn't that be cool if
1994.
we had enough viewers that they actually fact checked us on shit?
I know. Fact check
Fact
us on
check
that
us,
one.
please.
Please
Yeah,
comment.
when we get viewers.
Speaking of viewers, please, if you like this video, please share, comment,
And subscribe.
and subscribe.
We found out
right?
that the subscribe part is like the big part.
Yeah, the big
right?
part. So we're just starting out. We're like on our podcast number 5, obviously
Yeah.
talking about a little bit
We're
about
like,
crime. But
we're not a virgin anymore, but we're not blown out yet. So,
so we're basically saying
so
we're
we need
playing
more
college ball.
cocks, which means we need more subscribers.
I
That's
know.
how
We're
that
playing
is.
college ball, but we got no
Jesus.
fans in the
All right.
stands. That's basically what it is.
Terrible.
You have derailed.
I've derailed.
Derailed.
So we go back to Cook County.
Yeah.
Right.
So Chicago's one of the obviously many cities like New York. They've had over 400 homicides, right? You look at Seattle, Oregon, and these are cities that at least those two, I think Portland and Seattle, have both had like single digit or almost
LA
no
too is-
homicides, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
And you've seen the homicide rate explode. Like when you
Right.
had the Chopper Chaz on Thomas Zones created, you had multiple homicides,
Right.
multiple rapes, multiple assaults, right? And you now have, and getting to your point, like LA, New York, guess what? The mayor, or no, sorry, it was the DA that just said, he's like, oh, we're not going to prosecute low-level crime like prostitution, armed robbery, right, or
What was that?
you know,
Robbery,
speeding.
speeding.
There
yes.
was multiple offenses.
I got a lead foot, so I need to move to New York.
I know, right?
I'm like,
All right,
speeding, what?
Meet, I'm a speeding motorist.
People are like driving right down Central New York where people are walking like they're on the Autobahn and just fucking people
Could
flying
you imagine
everywhere.
somebody going 65 right through town square? Oh,
Maybe
snap.
that's how they're trying to get rid of people with tents. Boom!
Oh, I
Like,
didn't know
holy
they were.
shit.
I didn't know they were having a float parade. Those aren't floats.
Get
Those are tents being hit by these speeding
just
motorists.
get a city sweeper, just
Oh, jeez.
push your bodies off.
That's another thing,
Into,
right?
like,
These
the
people, like I
big
remember
butter.
going to a 7-Eleven
Yeah.
and just, you know, hanging outside, no loitering, and the owner comes out and say, "Hey, get the fuck lost," right?
Right.
Nowadays, it's like, "Hey, shoot up! Let me give you some needles."
I know, right?
Here's a place
Like-
in New York you can
like-
go into to actually
like, I
shoot
think
up.
your buddy was here with a syringe.
I know,
It's
right?
right behind the garbage can. Oh, thanks, man.
I know, right?
It's like-
And so they let these people, basically, all these homeless, set up camps on the side, particularly San Francisco, LA, like, you know. But
I have a
it makes
cousin
it
that lives
awful.
in LA, and
So-
then my aunt.
Yeah.
You know, I talked to my aunt. And she used to live in Chicago,
Yeah, yeah.
and you know, so she frequently reads up on what's going on in Chicago, and like even the area that she was in, a little bit more well-to-do area, but she says it's just like it's affected everything. She lived, I think, maybe 40 minutes away from downtown.
Okay.
But 40 minutes away from downtown, and like it's just she's seeing
It's just growing
like, these
outward.
it's growing
Yeah,
outward.
yeah, yeah.
And then my buddy, not my buddy, my cousin. You're my buddy too. If you're out there, Brandon has a third. You're both. Anywho, you know, he lives in L.A. and like you know, I've heard him talk about it. And then you see on the news. I saw on the news and read Skid Row.
Yeah.
Like Skid
yeah.
Row was always a problem in L.A. Because it was. It's
The
like
band
it's
and
like
actual Skid Row.
Both. It's.
It's the 80s. They want their music back.
They want their music back. But you saw, you totally threw me off my thought process. But
No, it's cool.
Oh no,
But
but Skid Row,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Skid Row, yeah, it was a place where there were people that want to live free, you know, and they were tense there.
Yeah.
And like there were drugs that's been going on, but like the influx of people that have gone there
Right.
and now that are residing there, and it's just increased
Yeah.
tenfold.
So
and like even on nice beaches too. Like I remember going to
Yeah, like
California.
Venice Beach is
You're
another
like
one.
Venice Beach.
there's needles everywhere
my-
in the sand.
Yeah,
Right. So
it's terrible.
yeah.
It's like
Well,
whereas like maybe you have to worry about one back in the day. Now you got to
So-
worry about
so
like 5,000.
the way these DAs are acting, and the way, and again, this is not a reflection on law enforcement,
No.
but my point is I'm glad you mentioned that because you can tell that the DAs, the politicians, it's almost like they're incentivizing criminality. Like, hey, we're not going to hold you accountable, so free range, go ahead, do this, right?
Yeah.
And you're seeing it, right?
Because like in California, we mentioned this
Yeah,
before. Like
yeah.
it's what is it? They have like a $900 or is it?
yeah, it was a
Or is it like
$950.
$8.99?
Yeah.
Like
so in
I
other
don't
words,
know what
if
it
you
is.
if you
It's like
steal $950 or less, it's
Right.
it's like a misdemeanor, and it's like okay, slap on the wrist,
a
whatever, right? They
it's
won't
like
even arrest
use
you.
of community service.
Yeah, something like that. No jail time. Or they won't even enforce it, right?
Yeah,
and the DL will
I
just,
need to
hey,
go out
we'll
there.
expunge your. Hey, are you Antifa? We'll expunge your record and won't charge you.
You need to
We'll
go
even put through the shredder your mugshot. Like, sorry, you didn't exist anymore.
We should
It's
go
like,
get
really?
podcast equipment from California.
No shit.
If you see us with new podcast equipment like in the next like year or so,
I know, right? Go to
it's not 'cause
California.
we went to
Just swipe it.
California.
Hey, excuse me, ma'am, is this under $950? Yeah, thanks,
Thank
bye.
you.
Just run.
Just walk
like
out.
seriously.
Run and walk. Like you get a
Yeah,
misdemeanor.
yeah. Well, in San Francisco, I don't know if you know, Walgreens is closing like 100 stores.
Yeah.
And you have elderly now that can't get their prescriptions because they're now Walgreens that aren't close to them, so they've got to either hop in a cab, hop in an Uber,
Yeah.
and they've got to go through a crime-riddled city,
Right.
in order to get their medications. They can't just walk down from their apartment and
Yeah.
walk a block maybe. So for example, there's this kid that went into a Walgreens and literally had a plastic bag, took all the things off the shelf, like sweeping arm, dumped in a plastic bag. The security guy and the register lady camcordered it and be like, "Oh, should we do anything?"
Is that the guy that had the bike?
Yeah, they had the bike.
I saw the
And then he wheels himself out on the bike, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
I would have
this is.
For me, if
seriously?
I was a customer in there, I would have fucking tripped him or something, right? Stick your fucking foot out.
Yeah, but then they slap a lawsuit on you, and then the justice system doesn't enforce the law, right? So they don't arrest them and throw the book at them, right?
So terrible.
It is, and you know the.
Can you imagine if throw the book, they actually threw a book at you?
We're gonna throw the book at you.
Fuck.
That's it. Shit.
No, that's probably what it is now.
Yeah.
Instead of going to jail. Just throw a book at you, then you can leave. that hurt, but I think
you need an education.
I think I'll throw something else again.
But I mean, also another funny thing is San Francisco, because the break-ins of the vehicles like on the sides of the roads, right, in downtown area, is getting so bad where they're bashing windows in. Mm-hmm. People are actually putting signs in their windows or leaving. Oh, that's okay. We had a sign up there, but our. We were trying to mirror image. No, I don't know what it is.
Lilies of the field.
You can shut it off now. Yeah. But no, so San Francisco are literally leaving their trunks open of their cars.
Yeah, I heard it. Like,
open. So
their trunks open, doors unlocked, windows rolled down.
The news.
That's fucked up that you gotta worry about that shit.
It's that bad to where people are like, hey, don't bust my windows, come on in my car. So now you're going to see the car just gone now because you're leaving the car unlocked, expect them to just carjack it.
At one point it's going to be like, hey, I'm going to leave my house door open. Again,
next thing you know, your daughter's knocked up and the money's missing off the register, all because you want to save a couple bucks on brake pads. Nice job.
Next time your daughter's knocked up by the tooth fairy.
Oh, my bad.
Anywho.
Yeah.
Oh, because you want to save some money on a quality piece of shit. Listen, if you want me to shit in the box,
I got some spare time. Oh, man.
Tommy Boy. Yeah.
The best.
Chris
you owe me a Coke?
Yeah! That's two now.
Yeah, you owe me 2 Cokes.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
2 lines of Coke.
The Office, baby.
Is that what you mean?
Sure. Yeah.
I'm gonna Charlie Sheen this shit up.
Winning. But yeah, so then even going further, like why are we seeing this happen, right? And you mentioned this, but the George Soros backed in the campaigns of these DAs is part of it. Is
it like, are they just okay? So I don't know much about George Soros, right? I know about him. Mm-hmm. So then I was like, hey, let me look some things up.
Yeah.
I honestly think they're just using him as a fall guy.
No, he's giving money to these third groups.
Well, he's funded the Democratic Party. Right?
Yeah,
he does.
Yeah,
but he has it. So I was like, well, let me look up George Soros. Mm-hmm. He's done a lot of good shit with his money too.
Did you use Google?
Huh?
They're going to censor all that information.
No, but he has legitimately done some good things with his money. I don't know everything that he's done, but he's actually helped lower income places.
Yeah,
he's even in Africa.
I'll say this:
he's built up, try to send people to get he's funded them to get educated.
Yeah.
So this is where
when you have
theory,
mainstream media,
but
when you have mainstream media censor the fact that George Soros is funding these groups that then give massive amounts of money to the campaigns and the DAs to get them elected, and then this is what the DAs do,
right?
And it's consistent in, I want to say it's L.A., New York, obviously,
right.
Chicago. You have multiple cities. I'm not saying all of them, right?
But
there's some cities where there's money from him going to these groups.
That's the one thing, though.
And the fact that Fox News won't even talk about it,
right?
Because there's people that have mentioned it on their show, and they immediately steer away from that.
Because he's funded them too.
Yeah, well, I'm not disagreeing with that, right?
But he's
He's got his hands in a lot of stuff, though.
So
a lot of stuff.
And I know people. This goes back to because you hear people talking about Karl Marx and communism and socialism that they they try to tag on him. But I was like, I looked up on.
You can't tag everything to one guy.
You can't take everything to one guy. And then I like looked up. I was like, this. Do you know where this guy grew up?
I only tie those few DAs.
This guy grew up in Hungary. In Hungary, and then he also lived in.
Was he hungry?
He was probably during the World War. He escaped the World War with his dad. They lived it. They were being like communism was trying to be pushed on them. So like.
Oh, are you talking about George Soros?
Yes, and so like where I see like when people are like he's a communist, I'm like, well, probably not. I was like he used capitalism to get his money. And then, like communism-wise, I doubt he.
Well,
really
you know what he
do
did
that.
during
like,
World War II, though, don't you? Like, he was Jewish,
right?
And what he did was, I think, his father sent him off with his godfather because he, I believe, wasn't Jewish.
They had they had money they could afford to come over to the States.
Well, wait a minute. So, as I understand it, George Soros was the guy who was taken on by his godfather, right? And then basically it was never known that he was Jewish, obviously, because the Nazis would have put him into a camp. Yeah, he changed his name
purposely.
And so, but he worked for the Nazis as a young boy, and he would be the guy who marked down all the things that they took from the Jews, right? Like all their gold, their silver, and their property. And he was the one inventorying them because he was just a young boy. That was basically all he could do.
Right.
And that was the only way he could survive through the war. Not obviously be put
in
camp
because
he was actually Jewish.
Yeah,
right?
you got to do what you got to do at that point.
But if you hear interviews from him today, he doesn't regret any of that. Right?
Would you?
I would.
I would regret it, but then like not because that's what you had to get through.
The fact that you don't speak about the atrocities against the Jewish people.
Wait,
and
you said
being
that he
Jewish
doesn't
yourself,
regret what?
You just watch the interviews.
He doesn't regret what though?
I'm not sure the specifics, but he's saying he doesn't. Just the way he phrases certain things when he doesn't regret what took place during the World War II and how he had an involvement in that. Right. I said, even me in his position, I would be
regret that he's.
I would be overwhelmingly just. I can't even come up with the words to say how just shameful I would feel in taking part in something like that. That's all I'm saying.
But then, like, would you regret doing it because it got you out of there, though?
Yeah, but at a certain point,
I think regret. It's hard.
You know, I know.
I can't.
It's tough. Yeah.
All I'm saying, like,
but anyway,
I know the crime thing, and he does fund.
Yeah.
He funds the Democratic Party.
Yeah, but look up interviews of George Soros, and folks make up your own minds and decisions.
That's what because he has done a lot.
I'm not saying he hasn't. Again, I'm not saying
for
he
different
hasn't,
people, but I think his money is influencing.
Yeah.
Because it's funding different Democratic people, but that's like. Before he started voting straight Democrat, it was he didn't vote at all. He actually started voting because he was against Bush going to Iraq war. That's what, and I was
I don't want to go down a Soros.
We're going down a Soros rabbit hole, but anywho, you do see
it's a foxhole.
You do see him funding money, and unfortunately, the money that he's funding, he. If I was him, I'd probably choose hey, what's my money fucking going to? Yeah. Because if these places that are making these decisions with crime and everything else, defunding police, it's hey, this is my money that I donated. Fucking use it to do some good.
But also, so I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, but I just from the Soros-backed DA parts of these cities that they have these rising crime where these DAs aren't prosecuting, that's the only part of it I wanted to mention when it came to Soros.
But why would I'd have to.
What's the intent?
Why is DA? Why are they doing that?
Yeah.
Right. The DA. Why are they?
Yeah, because it's not I don't know if you know this, but in L.A. there's been a record number of people that have left the DA's office, the lawyers, because they're look, I can't be a part of this.
Well, they're
so they're leaving.
They can't do their job.
So because their hands are tied, whether it's politically.
It's like police too leaving their jobs because they can't.
That's another one, right? They're not backed when it comes down to them being able to defend their lives.
Yeah.
Right. You know, and so you see the Kyle Rittenhouse. I know he's not a police officer, but again. It's where the Second Amendment on trial, right? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
sorry,
that's a cool. But
If
so
you see me doing this or something, we're throwing the ball to Chewy over here. It's his
he's
dog.
our honorary mascot.
Yeah.
So, but no. So I look at it this way. You know, you have a rise in crime, and another reason I think because our previous criminal podcast topic, we lost it in the cloud of rumble, and
what the
what the hell happened to
it?
it? But anyway, you also mentioned like the fatherlessness and what the root causes is. Okay,
Right.
why are people committing
Because then you gotta
crimes
look
within
at
these
like
cities?
why are people
Right.
doing this? That like psychologically, why are they doing this? And
Yeah,
we were talking about Jordan Peterson.
yeah,
And like I can't remember the study that he mentioned. I mentioned it the last one, but it actually like tracks where poverty happens most.
okay,
And like,
yeah. So poverty in this
Yeah.
particular area,
right.
and then why is there a crime that's happening specifically there versus another area,
Yeah.
right? I think that's a multiple
on
layer
the
onion.
psychological part, which he talked about, the reason
Yeah.
why people are so like if you are in a hard place, you
Right.
know, and then like if you feel like you have nothing, like no alternative, and then you do get that commit a crime, it's like a recognition and which is I don't agree with, but like you're basically
the
supplement
street cred.
you're supplementing street cred for and people acknowledging you in like a hierarchy position.
Yeah, yeah.
But because like you're not able to, like get a job, or if you do have a job,
Yeah, there's no
to gain a hierarchy, like a legitimate way of having a job,
and-
getting like promotions.
And the
and
victim
raises,
mentality
and, like,
encourages that as
Right.
well, right?
Mhm.
Because it's like, hey, we're now not going to prosecute low-level crime.
yeah, it's
They're going to start to
Yeah.
do it, then they're going to be more bold to commit more violent crimes,
right.
or more heinous crimes, and you're just going to see it explode.
Yeah. And the
right?
defunding of the police and all
Yeah.
that bullshit's terrible too.
Oh yeah,
Telling the police to stand down.
Oh,
like
yeah, yeah.
like the Chicago's Beetlejuice mayor.
you
like-
mean Lori Lightfoot?
like Lori
I mean
Lightfoot.
Beetlejuice. I can never tell the difference
if we
between
say
the
her
two.
name 3 times, does she appear here or some shit?
Lori Lightfoot. Lori Lightfoot. Hey. Blah. Hey, I'm Beetlejuice. No, you're
What do you say?
not.
The
Stop.
honk, honk, yeah.
Honk honk, nice fucking city.
nice fucking city, Hong Kong. But like, so when I've seen some interviews with her,
Yeah.
she's skating around the topic of admitting that there's like
Oh, yeah.
the crime's gone up.
Oh yeah, you heard what she said the
I
first
was
time
like,
when crime started to
What
go
the
up.
fuck's wrong with you?
When crime went
Like,
up,
yeah.
she's like, "Oh, these are guns coming in from other states and out of state." We're like, "What?"
So fucking get rid of them. Hey, guess what? Put the police on that shit. Wait, no, you can't.
Right? You defunded them, right?
Like, because they're quitting because
And
you
even
made it hard for
then,
'em.
that
Yeah.
wasn't the case, right? It wasn't guns coming into the city from either out of state or out of city. It was just sheer crime being committed because you're not enforcing
Yeah.
it. You're defunding the police. And then also, there's something to be said culturally, too, because when you have on the news them constantly pushing, because notice you've never seen a white guy shot by the police on the 5 o'clock news, right?
No.
Just think about that for
And
a
it
minute.
happens.
And it happens a lot,
Yeah.
right? Just based off of sheer population comparison, right? Because blacks only make up like 13, maybe 14% of the population,
Right.
where whites are, I think, 55, 60. I'm just guessing.
But it goes
again,
to like if you're showing something, it can perpetuate a situation.
right, exactly.
And then,
So they're
like-
driving a culture
Right.
that makes them not only animosity, but also fear of the police.
Right.
Where it's like, just comply, have your day in court, and you'll walk away, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because
But
they
then-
wear body cams to hold them accountable too.
Yeah.
Not just the criminals that they engage.
Right.
You know? So they're not trying to shoot you, but they will have to defend their life if they feel threatened. And also you went into the training as well that you
Right.
feel is a little bit of lackluster
Well,
as
of course
well.
it is. Like
You know.
what you hear. So I do tactical training,
Okay.
for fun, and we do tactical training with community.
You should see what he
police.
doesn't do for fun.
I know. It's basically nothing. But like we do tactical training. We do training for police, and I have friends that are police, and they're great officers, and
Yeah.
but they need training. Like for a fact, and I have friends. I'm not gonna mention names, but like if you have police officers, and for them to get training, they have to seek outside of the academy.
Oh, the department?
Of the department,
Wow,
because
yeah.
the departments aren't providing, and it's not because they don't want to, it's about they don't have the funds for everything. I don't know,
Right.
where every piece of fund goes,
Mhm.
but that's like the whole defunding. It doesn't make any sense because police are already hard up. Like I've had to train a friend on how to using handcuffs and sort of in like a grappling situation. It's like we guys
How to
need both-
manipulate the joints, to restrain
It's
them.
like why aren't you guys receiving this training? And it is like I'm sure like funds and then
Mhm.
you see more crimes happening with police and with citizens just in public because of lack of training. I mean, it goes all the way around. Like my friends that do training and they seek outside places. That's great. And I know that they do bring in trainings, but you hear talk about this all the time. I've heard Jocko Willick's talk on Joe Rogan. It's like, listen, our police should be training like military trained, right?
Yeah.
Like a special ops, like
That makes sense.
on like constantly.
It should be instinct.
Instinct,
Yeah.
right? To whereas like if I have a friend and he comes to me, which is good just to get better at something, that's good.
Yeah.
But like, hey, I haven't had this training at all. It's like that's a little bit fucked up, right? For me, like when I think of police, it's like they should have enough money and bring all this into the departments, but they don't.
Yeah. They should. They should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I believe that from the friends that I do talk to, that they do try their best, but you got to work with what you got.
Yeah, the
right?
funding for what
So-
do you need the most for?
Yeah.
Right.
And I
How
know
do you
like
do
they
that?
can get. I think my buddy gets reimbursed for like if he does go out and get training somewhere else, but like
Right.
tax wise. But like at the end of the year, at the end of the year or whatever, you get a kickback or whoever gets a kickback, like
Mhm.
the police.
The budget.
The
If you don't
budget.
use it, you lose it. kind of
Anyways,
thing.
like that budget, like it should be for me. It's like they should have a lot of in-house, right?
Yeah.
Instead of out-of-house training, because then
outhouse training. That's got to
outhouse,
smell like shit.
but like for me, like the training part of it is like in-house, and everybody's doing the same thing and on that same page with everything, right?
Yeah.
Too like so you do see crime going up, even with police, because they don't know how to, if they don't know how to diffuse a situation or
Right.
handle a person a certain
Yeah.
way, well, guess what happens?
Mm-hmm. You know,
A crime.
Yeah.
It does because like they don't know how
Agreed.
to do something.
Agreed.
So then like it escalates.
It puts them in danger,
Yeah.
as well as
To
the
where
people
you
that they're
see-
trying to arrest.
To where you have seen it gone up too. It has gone up.
Yeah.
And it's gonna get like those things happen. Crimes are gonna happen because we're not funding and providing like the money for police to train.
Right.
So
And also they're propagating situations with
Right.
not only the culture
Mhm.
with police that makes it for I'll say a powder keg. It really
Yeah.
is, right? And you're seeing it across obviously the
Mhm.
Democrat ran cities for decades, right, as well as
Yeah.
other areas.
Mhm.
But really looking at what bothers me probably the most that I've seen in the last 2 years, obviously since kind of the COVID thing hit,
Right.
was basically you have all these riots that took place,
Right.
right? And then the police, what were they told? Oh, stand down,
Stand up.
or
like let this simmer down.
Yeah, let this
That's
simmer down.
like
After the
setting a
city's
building on
ashes.
fire and
Yeah.
there's other buildings
Yeah.
next to it. It's
And-
like, hey, they have gasoline. Well, it's
yeah, you know what Molotov
we're gonna let it
cocktails.
burn out, and
Yeah.
like if it spreads to this one, well, we're gonna let that one burn out too. It's just
So they either were told to
Keeps going.
stand down,
Yeah.
or they were only given so many people that they couldn't control it,
Right.
to where it was like they
unsafe.
basically looked ineffective,
Right.
from the eyes of the news and the
well,
media.
they are ineffective because they don't got enough
Well,
people.
that's my point.
like
That's
they don't
exactly
mean to
my
be,
point.
but like and
Right.
so yeah.
So what did the governors do?
Hmm.
Because the governors are the ones that have the right whether to call in the National Guard or not, right?
You having some?
Oh, whiskey, bourbon.
You having a little or no?
Oh, I want some redemption bad. If you haven't noticed, we're drinking redemption bourbon. Your people call my people. We'll get together. We'll have tries the shit out of this stuff. But no,
American bourbon, not Scottish.
I know, but I just like the Scottish accent.
It is pretty cool.
It is neat.
It's
But no, so So that's what bothers me the most with the violence that has taken place, because they could have easily said, hey, we're going to call in the National Guard the first night. And I would rather overdo it than underdo it. And again, I'm not talking about combating intentionally people on the streets. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
Have a presence there so the people that are there are overwhelmed to where they have enough forces to be able to subdue people in a way that doesn't harm them.
Well, the biggest
put the zip ties on them, put them in a car, or and cart them off to jail, right? So they're not injured and they're not destroying property.
Because the biggest part to lower crime, right?
Yeah, is deterrence.
Deterrence.
Yeah.
So the crime's gone up because there's the lack of deterrence going on within the cities.
Right.
There is.
Yeah.
Like you said, if you have more people there, it's like, do I really want to go out? There's an ass load of police, and if there is National Guard, well, fuck, no, I'm going to stay home.
Right.
And then you just get the batshit crazy people that'll still go out, and that'll be fine the rest of them.
You know what? Shit back crazy. Hit the streets, folks. No, it just... And that's the thing that bothers me the most, because you have good people that own businesses and street fronts, and then they get destroyed.
Right.
And they pay taxes, whether through that business or if they live in the city or state. Mm-hmm. They pay through taxes for the police and the National Guard or what have you. Yeah. And they're not getting the protection that they've paid for.
No,
right?
Look, what do your taxes go to?
I know, exactly. It goes to the
public
schools,
services
public
of
services,
that, right?
yeah.
And guess what's not happening? Public service.
And
that's
just
crazy.
And the biggest thing is, look at the autonomous zones in, I think it was Portland and Seattle. They also had, I don't know if you knew this, but the block where George Floyd was killed, they actually had an autonomous zone, and they barely reported that, if at all, in the news. And there were killings that were taking place, and all the businesses almost went under, if not did.
Right.
And because it basically turned into a war zone because they wouldn't allow cops within that city block of where he was killed, unfortunately. And that's where it really bothers me, because they could easily enforce the law to where we're like, hey, we're not going to stand for this. We're going to still police it, right? So that people that are living there have the right to feel safe in their own communities, right? And I think there was a survey.
And then what's going to happen? You're going to have people that aren't trained in guns, and they're going to get guns, and they're going to end up shooting people.
Everybody's going to be shooting more like the Wild West.
It's just more crimes happen, and more crimes happen. Was it in Cook County?
Chicago.
The shooting, right?
Oh, you told me about this. Yeah, there's like 5 guys on the street.
Fucked up.
And they shot at each other.
Shooting,
yeah, it was a gang shooting.
They're shooting at each other.
It was on street camera.
And it's like, bad.
Slap on the... we can't find anything to prosecute these.
They labeled it as mutual combatant.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And I'm like, how fucked up is that?
And it's a gun-free zone. It's a gun-free city.
Well, that it was in a residential area. There's houses, so you have people that are shooting guns at each other that can fly in any fucking window, wall, through a wall.
Yeah.
Like, it can go in a house, and this has happened where there's gun violence and someone gets shot in their house, and they have nothing
and you've got to wonder if a stray bullet hits somebody, would they have done something different, right?
Yeah.
And that's really sad that you had to distinguish between the two, because they should have. And they were like, we don't see anything problem here.
It's
you're
like
right.
so if an innocent bystander didn't get hurt, it's okay to do it. Like,
exactly.
That's
the new standard, unfortunately.
I know, right?
That's pathetic.
It's like, I don't know why all this crime's happening. Really? It's like, well, it's like, basically we can go shoot guns a-blazing and like...
Did I tell you the story where when I lived in Chicago? So I was walking Chewy. Yeah. So this is the block that the Navy Pier is on, right? So I'm in Streeterville.
He loves.
I was in Streeterville. What's that?
In the Navy. No, okay, go ahead.
No, so I woke up in the morning and I went to take Chewy out for a walk. So he had to pee and poop right in the morning.
Yeah.
So I go outside. And he won't pee on the turf that the apartment lays out right outside the door. He'll pee on it, but he won't poop on it.
He's very particular.
Exactly, right. Well, he's a suburban dog, you know. Yeah. So anyway, I took him to where the grass is near the Navy Pier. Yeah. And so as I was walking down the block, I come across this cop car. And the German Shepherd, the police dog, was going nuts in the car. Barking at Chewy, barking at me, obviously, right? Because it's trained, right?
Drugs on you?
No, yeah.
Well, you said they're trained.
No. Yeah, I know, right?
You're like, it's Chicago, I had everything.
The police officer wasn't in the car; it was just the dog.
Yeah.
Then I look to my left, and I'm keeping my eye on the car because it's like freaking me out. It was freaking Chewy out a little bit too. And then I look to my right, and all of a sudden I see a DA in full tactical gear, right? He was DEA, Drug Enforcement Agency.
Yeah.
He was in full tactical gear, full freaking on rifle, man.
Nice.
And he had the headgear on. He turns to me, and I kept walking. I was like, whoa, boy, you don't see that every day. And then you saw like 3 or 4 like military or Chicago police squad cars in the alley, and I was like, there's some kind of.
Yeah,
and
then
I looked up online, and there was some type of massive drug bust in downtown Chicago. I was like, sweet. So you guys rock, man.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. So, but
on preventing crime.
Exactly.
Should do.
So, but I just found that so funny because Chewy was like, holy shit. I mean, his face was like, fuck.
I think like maybe you should put the mayor like somewhere where there's a lot of crime right now going on. Not like somewhere like up somewhere, but like, hey, here's a regular normal job.
Yeah, yeah.
Like have this for a year and go around this neighborhood and let's see what you have to fucking deal with.
Oh, did you?
Right?
Did you?
I mean, like anybody.
What's her
does
name?
that.
I can't remember.
Even how like people in California,
Yeah.
fucking Seattle.
Yeah.
It's like take those people. You want to know what the fucked up thing is? These politicians.
Show what it looks like.
These politicians, no matter you're Democratic, Republican.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it has been more Democrats. And I've been more like
you're more liberal than I am.
Well, more on the liberal end, but I'm like in the middle. Like I just get pigeonholed as liberal.
But you'll call out shit.
But I'll call out shit on both sides.
And you keep me in line because I get a little right wingy.
It does, but like but like for me, I'm like, well, fuck, I don't want to vote Democratic. Like
if that's what my city's gonna look like.
I don't want to vote any of them, but like rather, I think my penis could do a better job. Although I'll get in trouble like Bill Clinton, But all I'm saying is, like, it's fucking, like, if you see something happening, when you see these things happening and it's coming from the Democratic side, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Which, goes back to George Soros. We talk about money funding. But it's just fucking ludicrous.
Well, speaking of that.
Because, like, these politicians, going back to what I said about having them live somewhere, like, the people are making these decisions. It's like, hey, fuckers, why don't
they
you
live in the ritzy area of the city. Oh,
you go fucking live, like, in these areas for a year.
And see what these people have to do.
Have a job, get in a shitty house, like, you don't have access to your fucking finances, and, like, you live how they live.
Yeah.
And let's see if this is a good fucking idea to defund police, like, let people do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, because they're in the middle of it.
Mind.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like...
And these are people's communities.
Part of me wants to go and be like, woo! But then, like, it's like the end of time.
Block party. Pew, 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 pew.
No, seriously, it's nuts. But it's like, no, that'd be a terrible
Well, think about it. Like
maybe if I was like 20, or how old was Kyle Rittenhouse? 17.
He was 17 when it happened, yeah.
Maybe if I was okay to make bad decisions and not be accountable for it.
Hey, man, he's innocent by a jury of his peers.
He's innocent, but I'm just saying, like,
Yeah. He wasn't
like on any adolescent. They're like, part of this might be.
He didn't think too far apart.
No.
Yeah.
Like,
but yeah, I
like
agree
logically, when you get older, your brain's formed all the way, and like that's probably a fucking terrible idea.
As long as you didn't eat paint chips as a kid, I think you're okay.
You're all right.
But no, so from the federal level, it's interesting.
You eat paint chips as your kid? Why? Go ahead.
No, but Tim Scott, I think he's a senator from either North or South Carolina, one of the Carolinas.
At the time.
Yeah. So anyway, he actually was backing a crime bill like within a month after George Floyd was killed, right? And he took it to the floor, and Democrats, even Tim Scott and the Republicans were like, "Hey, we'll let you have an infinite number of amendments to this bill if you want to change something, massage it, change the wording, add to it, what have you." They shot it down, and Tim Scott eviscerated him on the floor, and he was like, "Look," and Democrats still haven't come to the table with anything. It's because I believe, at least from those folks, they don't have an incentivization or anything because they know they have the black vote locked up. But hear me out. Getting to my point, though, getting to the illegal immigration is always also spiking crime, right? Mm-hmm. You see them bringing these people in because I think it's Democrats' intent to try to get somehow, and we just saw this in New York where the mayor wants to get all non-citizens to be able to vote in the coming elections as long as they've lived there for 30 days or longer.
Right.
And it's my intent that because they saw the demographic on how many blacks actually did vote for Trump, which was about 25% on average,
Right.
they're now seeing that they're losing the black vote. They now see that they're
So you're
losing the
gonna bring in
Hispanic
that-
vote. So now they're going to bring in a whole other demographic of people and
Right.
say, okay, we're now going to rewrite
To
the
back
laws
to back the Democratic
Party,
Party,
right?
then
So, yeah.
possibly,
Yeah,
that can,
yeah.
if they get in office, then you're still perpetuating
Yeah,
the situation.
yeah.
Which I think, on both ends, and it is unfortunate.
It's
Again,
terrible. It's terrible.
you do see the Democratic states woo,
What the hell are you thinking?
Fuck it, let's do it. Let's
Common
not do
sense
anything.
went out the
We're-
window.
But both sides, Democratic and liberal, should I feel have just done. You maybe guys.
Yeah, the
you need to
Republicans
get
are
your-
just sitting back
You
and
need
going,
to get
okay.
your shit together. Everyone in general.
Yeah,
You need to go in and be listen, asshole. Get the just fucking take them out. I'm sorry.
Hey,
get the
Take
gang.
them out to lunch. Take them out to lunch, folks.
Take 'em out to Cook-
Take
take
them
'em
out to
out to
lunch
Cook
and give them a
County.
stern talking to.
Yeah, take them to Cook County for a day, and
Oh, geez.
especially a night.
Have you been to the South Side of Chicago?
I have been before.
Yeah. It's
Well, it's
Yeah.
every place has their pockets of bad crime.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like
And it's
that
unfortunate.
place,
It's
good
awful.
food, really good food.
there's
But
some good food. Chicago deep dish pizza. Mm.
No, good cultural food though. It has different cultural foods, especially there's a big Hispanic population.
What?
It's really
Deep
good.
dish pizza and cultural
Yeah.
food? Come on.
Yeah, it is.
I know, right, man? It's good. But yeah,
So-
getting to the crime though.
So,
that's-
talking about crime, it's just you have these people in their positions, and they're just perpetuating a terrible situation.
Agreed. They're going tit for tat.
To
and
where
they're
it's
not,
I guess this would be act more locally than what is
absolutely.
So-
It's state or district wise.
it? So act more locally first.
Yeah.
So if you look at your votes, and it even counts on me because I'm fuck that shit. I don't really. But then no, I need to keep my eye and when there is voting, vote for those things that are that has to do with your district, locally, because that affects right where you're gonna fucking live.
yeah.
And that's
yeah.
a big part people need to do then, get the person out. Except they won't. They're stealing shit and getting shit for free, and then they're well, I'm not gonna.
Well,
get
that's
rid
the
of this
problem.
person.
Like you said, it's there.
To where at
there's
that
the
point,
incentivization.
I think that government should be able to step in and be listen, fucktard.
Well, that's what
Get
Trump
the hell
tried
outta
to do.
here.
I don't know if you remember, but they had undercover, I think it was either military or
Right.
FBI, and because they would get swarmed if
At
they
the
were
Capitol?
wearing anything. Wait, what?
The Capitol.
The Cap? Oh, yeah. So no, not even getting.
We're not getting into
Jeez.
that.
That's a whole other
Another
can of worms.
Story goes both ways.
We'll do another podcast on that.
Yeah.
But
He's got a lot
you
of
made me lose
podcasts
my
on
complete.
it.
Oh, so this getting back to when Trump was president and the
Right.
crime was on a rise in these cities, he would try to do whatever federal things he could do for the
Right.
city or state in order to curb the crime as was happening. Because at the governor or
Yeah.
or mayor level, they weren't doing anything. They were
Yeah.
telling police to stand down or what have you, and not calling the National Guard. So what Trump was doing was having either these FBI agents or federal agents, if
Right.
you will, in unmarked minivans or cars. And if they were able to identify certain people, they would swipe them right off the
Yeah.
street.
Which is
and then
good.
Pelosi comes out and says, "Oh, these are stormtroopers. These are," and it's are you kidding me?
It's no, they're
Really?
not. Have
I
you
know,
seen a
right?
stormtrooper?
Yeah, but those are the terms that they use for the Nazis. That's
Yeah.
that's what
No,
my
I
point
know.
was.
Yeah.
But yeah, getting back to that. The first thing I thought was Star Wars. I'm like, come on, they're not shooting lasers. They can't even see that helmet.
Maybe that's
out of
how
that
they got
helmet.
away with it in Cook County. Because they're stormtroopers, they don't hit anything.
He's a stormtrooper.
They
He-
don't
he
do
didn't
any
hit a damn
damage.
thing. Have you ever seen the meme where it's a stormtrooper and he's peeing and then his stream isn't even hitting the urinal?
No, but that's
Fucking hilarious.
That's funny.
Oh god, it's awesome. I
No,
love
but
it.
it is. You get these people in these positions like Pelosi and everyone else. So, and like you said, I float more on the liberal side, but then
Yeah.
not now. I'm fuck me. It makes me question. Well,
Yeah.
which it should.
Yeah.
You should look at both sides and take everything in. But then, our president right now is not going to say anything because guess what? That affects him.
Yeah.
in like the Democratic Party later on.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have the following and backing from your own
Yeah.
from your own constituents. I love constituents. I never get to say.
Wait, have you heard?
But like, I wonder if like Biden's like watching TV and think he's like playing Grand Theft Auto or something. So fucking
He
out there.
probably sees the nuclear football.
They just put, they're like, hey Biden, they just put like an Xbox controller in his hand and like PlayStation. He's like, oh, this is a great game. It's like, you fucking dimwit. This is reality.
Have you heard he goes to Wilmington, Delaware, and through sources that are being leaked, they literally just put him in front of a window and he just stares out the window for hours at a time? I'm dead serious. I'm dead freaking serious.
This is why like this is why we together, both conservative, liberal, whatever you're pigeonholed as, need to come together and look at things because
objectively.
and, like,
you really look at the
to not put a person in that looks like they're on the way out. It's like death. It's like death has his cold fucking hand on his shoulder, and you're just waiting for that other one to go up, and then it's like that.
You're
right?
done.
Then you're done. Or just take the sick one.
You know what? You know my theory. The Grim Reaper already took his brain. He just hasn't taken his body yet.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry, I forgot to take the body with
It's like maybe you ever watch that Pinky and the Brain, where
God,
Pinky dresses up as like he's like in a robot human.
Oh yeah, and he
Maybe
goes on
that's
Jeopardy.
it. Yeah.
He goes on Jeopardy.
Yeah, maybe that's the brain. Maybe
And then the last question to win it all was one question that Pinky knew, and he didn't. And then he loses everything because he bet it all.
Maybe that's what's going on with Biden. He has a mouse inside of him, just like tinkering with like shit.
I don't think Biden's got all that much going on.
So terrible. Look up again. Do your own research. Like, again, these are our opinions and stuff. Do your own research. How about vote for not Trump or Biden? There's like how many fucking people? How many people are in the United States?
Speaking of like over 330 million.
Okay, just saying, like both Republican and Democrats, like that's like
you're both shit shows.
That's like your fucking cherry on top of the ice cream that you want. That. Fuck no, that's like putting a grapefruit on a sundae. Okay, get that shit off there. Give me a...
Here's all that dairy with that citrus.
Pick somebody fucking different. I can't wait. We're gonna do a political one, right?
No,
like,
I told you we're gonna do a live. We're gonna do a live podcast for the midterms.
Jesus Christ,
and
I can't even.
It's gonna be a shit show, and it's gonna be hilarious because we're gonna shred everybody.
I'm gonna eating glass. I'd rather eat fucking glass. Fucking stick screwdrivers in my head. And fucking pour onion juice in my eyes.
It's gonna. Oh god.
And then some salt.
It burns.
Some salt.
It's gonna be like Dumb and Dumber.
It is sad, man. Like with
it's
all
gonna be like Liar Liar when he goes into the bathroom and beats the shit out of himself. He's like, "What am I doing? I'm kicking my own ass."
It's terrible, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I would be. Wouldn't you? Like, if conservative Republican side, wouldn't you be really glad? If like there was someone in office, it's like, holy shit, this person's remarkable. Like, let's get him.
The only person I can think of that fits that mold is DeSantis right now, the governor of Florida.
Which is because
he has the best qualities of a pit bull like Trump does, and says, hey, you're full of shit. This is the way we should do it. Making common sense based off of the actual data that's coming in at the time that he had it. He's doing a remarkable job for his state.
We still talk about
but also
crime. crime's okay there, right?
Yeah, crime's okay.
Well,
but
there's crimes.
The thing I didn't know.
Can you imagine Miami if it was ran by
well, I'm going to get to that point.
If Littlefoot was mayor of Miami, holy shit! Like we would have like every
Littlefoot. What is she, fucking Indian? Like Lightfoot? Come on.
We'd have like every cartel in.
Oh God.
We probably already do. but they all move there. Like. No, what's up?
But actually, I didn't know this, but DeSantis, there was I think a murder trial that the DA within one of the major cities within Florida, I don't know which one it was, but he literally took it out of the hands of the DA in that area and gave it to somebody else.
Yeah.
In order for them to prosecute to the fullest law, because I think it was a murder trial.
That's insane.
And so the fact that they wouldn't move forward to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that he was the governor and saw that happen and said, wait a minute, I'm seeing an injustice here with the DA and the way they're reacting. I'm taking it out of your hands and giving it to somebody else or some other district. Go. The fact that he does that says he's stepping up to the plate and he's able to get there, right, to do it. So I adamantly think that DeSantis is a guy who is all the good qualities of Trump without the bad, because he talks really articulate and he's straightforward and honest, but he's not as brash as Trump.
He's not
which
brash,
turns off a
and
lot of
I
people,
think that he
right?
would.
That's the only thing.
And I think both Biden and Trump have
Yeah.
divided people. I'm just saying that. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Whereas I don't think that
I don't disagree. I don't disagree with what you said, but I will specify. I think Trump unifies more people than you might think.
Maybe.
Not saying he doesn't divide. And the only reason is I'm kind of going off the data, which is, hey, in the 2020 election, Trump got 35% of the Hispanic vote, and Trump got 25% of the black vote. That's a number not seen by a Republican presidential candidate not since the Kennedy era. In terms of Republican.
We need to do it. Holy shit, we need to do a JFK podcast.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. That'd be awesome.
Should we like pseudo sign off right now and then it? Like,
yeah, well, let me get to my point real quick.
Because I'm not like sign off, like say, hey, thank you for joining and stuff that, but then keep going because our.
Yeah.
Listen, this is why you need to subscribe to us because we need
please
funding.
Subscribe.
Like the police.
Funding.
No, like we're really working on like an old GoPro and
we live in a mostly peaceful area.
Yeah, but we're worrying about our battery dying.
Yeah, we got a GoPro.
Can't charge it.
While we're recording.
While recording, but it's all right.
We're figuring out one day at a time.
One day at a time. So let's do like a quick thank you.
Okay.
I don't know, please
like, subscribe, and share.
Definitely on Rumble. Yeah.
Rumble,
and
we love you.
YouTube, you're like my ex that sucks but can give good head. Like
you can expose us to a lot of people, but you pull us for certain shit.
Yeah, which is a crime. This ties back to crime.
Okay, yeah.
This is a crime.
Go.
That our COVID video got taken off of YouTube.
Yes, it did.
For what? Promoting. We didn't say that there was a cure for coronavirus, and we were talking about ivermectin. What was the cute? I can never.
Yeah, but if we mention anything more, we'll get banned again by this video. So I don't want to mention anything.
We're not going to mention much.
Yeah.
But like seriously, it was a crime that our COVID video got taken down because this goes to the part of taking away people of freedom of speech and allowing people to talk and converse. And even if you oppose somebody's thoughts, like, hey, have a conversation.
Both sides of an opinion or both sides of an argument should be heard.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we feel YouTube is not doing that when it comes to certain topics, right? And that's the unfortunate part. So that's why we recommend
YouTube. We believe in you, and you can do better. So do it.
Yeah. So
you can definitely find all our videos on Rumble, right?
Yes, all our videos are on Rumble if they're small enough to where we can
upload
them.
Is the COVID one on?
The COVID one's up there,
Yeah, so check that one out.
So check it out on Rumble.
Why we got pulled.
We'll link it on our Facebook feed.
And our Facebook feed, we're going to go live sometime, maybe this weekend or something
we'll
like
try
that,
something.
And rant off about that shit.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go on. Thank you, subscribe, like, share. Now we're going to keep going, and if it shuts off, then it shuts off.
Exactly.
It's like you have sex and you get off and then smack the ass and leave and goodbye.
Always thinking about sex, man.
That was not now. I don't do that now.
On to the sex segment?
I can't. I'm married, so where am I going to leave to the living room?
Oh boy!
Joking. I love you, honey. My wife rocks.
Did I tell you? Did I tell you the story when I went to Toronto with a couple of my buddies?
In hookers?
No. So we went to Toronto. And the couple in the room next to us were having really, really loud sex.
Oh, is this where you're screaming louder?
No. So me and my three buddies. This was pretty late too, when we got back from the bar, and all we could hear was, "Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit," and all of a sudden you hear this, and by the second time, the smack of the ass. And by the second time, we were dying.
Nice.
We were laughing so loud, they had to stop because we were it was hilarious.
Oh, see, that happened to me.
So funny.
But then I was like, well, I'll just pleasure myself and scream louder. I'm like, give it to me, Han. Give it to me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Michigan.
Oh, yeah. So, no. But,
Which...
That
boy. Really didn't happen.
What's that?
It'd be funny if it did.
Oh, yeah. Shit. But no, so I don't even know how to segue back to crime. And
How do we? It's a crime.
It's a crime that we interrupted their fun time.
It is.
It is. It really is.
We
totally
should have knocked
cockblocked
and asked him if he needed to record.
that. Hey, you need a GoPro? We got
like, you guys.
It'd be hilarious.
You can't find that video on Rumble.
I know, right? It got pulled.
Rumble, thank you so much for
We love you, bro.
keeping all our videos up. It's
Yeah.
awesome, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
It makes us feel good.
Well, Rumble, I don't know if you know, Rumble is getting a record number of videos, right?
Right.
And then they're also, when they went public, Dan Bongino mentioned that the shares went up about $2 a share. It
Nice.
started about 10. I think now it's up at 12 or $13
So what
a
you're
share.
saying is we should probably
Buy some stock in it, yeah, maybe. I don't know.
people are gonna like hold us accountable. They gave us stock tips.
Nah,
Maybe you're good.
All
You're good.
I'm
You're
just
good
hearing
for
what's
giving
said.
people stock tips. Listen, I don't have a lot of money. Like my stock tips are like pennies.
Your stock tips like an inch.
It is,
It's not that much.
but it doesn't matter about the size, does it?
Nope.
I got a big mushroom.
Just
It's like a
matters how much the coin
it's-
comes in.
My mushroom's like a portobello.
You might want to get that checked out.
That's what I heard.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
This is the fun part.
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
guys.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
But yeah, so I mean, really,
What other crimes have gone on? There's tons of crimes. that
oh
go
yeah,
on.
well
I'm
the
trying to-
flash mob crimes that they've mobbed and looted stores, they've literally gone in.
They're like. Da, 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 da.
Oh yeah, they don't know they're being robbed because they're just dancing right out the
They're
door.
like, there's like 50
Man, that
of
guy's a
them.
really good
There's like
dancer.
50 of them just looking at
Nobody
shit,
notices the
and then
60-inch TV in their hands.
They're like,
We're out of here.
what happened? I don't know, it was a flash mob. He took some liquor and just breakdanced out. Did you stop him? No, it looked awesome.
That was great.
I wish I could do
It's
that.
trending on TikTok right now. Oh shit. That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
I hope people watch because this is funny shit at them.
I love it, man.
We can clip like this stuff out and like
Oh, yeah.
put it on
Oh, yeah.
Instagram and stuff.
Flash mob, California. Nobody knows they're being robbed.
Redemption Bourbon Whiskey. Thank you.
Oh,
we
yeah.
haven't, I've just had a little bit, which is good.
Yeah, I got a little bit. I'll give this
Yeah.
a sip. It's smooth.
It is
We had it
smooth.
on our last podcast.
Yeah, we
so.
Redemption Bourbon. If you're out there, hey, look us up.
Very, very smooth.
Look us up, man.
Misa like. Oh yeah.
So cool.
But yeah, the crime is getting so bad that they're, did you hear that in order to commit the crimes, they ransacked a Home Depot and stole all their hammers and sledgehammers and hatchets, and then ran out, just to probably go commit more crimes. So they didn't even want to pay for the goods they were
Unless
going
they had a house
use
to build
for
or
the
something.
crime. What is this little house on the fucking
It's
prairie?
construction crew.
Oh god!
It's like this
Oh
construction.
god!
Like it's
really?
probably this construction
Okay,
crew.
so the
They're
only
like, look
three
at all
things-
this nice shit.
So the only three things you need to build a house is apparently a hatchet, a sledgehammer, and a hammer. Come on.
Those are like-
Coincidence? I think not.
Those are like it's a bunch of serial killers. They're like, what the fuck?
Why are we
They're like,
having all of these serial killer beatings across the country right now?
We have like the Hatchet Coochie Bandit. They're like, what happened?
Wow.
I don't know.
Wow.
We let people just steal a bunch of
need
hatchets.
to- we need to
now we think
copyright-
one of them might be like
We need to copyright and trademark that one.
the Hatchet Coochie Bandit.
Why do I always think of the bandana with the two eyes pulled out with like
It's got
something
to.
like a striped shirt,
Right?
make it look like the old school.
Old school
Oh my
criminal.
god!
Like the
Jeez.
Hamburglar.
Exactly, the hamburger. He's not going to steal your burgers. He's going to steal your coochie. Oh man,
I'm trying to think of
that
another
coochie
one.
looks like a hamburger. Oh my god,
Hatchet Coochie Bandit's fantastic.
it sounds like a really bad metal band. Oh man, what a disappointment concert on Dozen Egg Night. Oh my god, I remember my drum
Priests are
instructor.
stealing stuff.
Huh?
You think priests are stealing stuff?
Yeah, just boys virgins. Virginity.
Virgin. They're like, we didn't need the law to do anything.
Yeah.
Like, we've been getting away with this for centuries.
That's a really bad pedophile joke. Dude. Did you hear the USA Today article. They're trying to delegitimize they're trying to, how do I say this? They're trying to lessen the severity of how culture sees pedophilia. It's
man.
terrible. I'm
Seriously?
like, where's this coming from? I was like, are you kidding me? Jeez.
It's like maybe we
awful.
can cry. Maybe we've been able to cryogenically freeze people for a long time, and we're just bringing up we're de-thawing kings from centuries ago.
Oh God!
They're like, you know what we used to do? We used to fuck 13-year-olds all day long.
Oh my God!
We need to get this going back again. They're like, this is a great idea.
No wonder Europe was so messed up in the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages. Good Lord.
You got a bunch of Dark Age kings.
Jeez.
That's what it is. The presidents don't run shit. You got a bunch of Dark Age fucking kings behind some big fucking door. They're like, fucking eating grapes and the juices are busting, running down their nasty teeth.
Oh boy.
Some 13-year-old's like,
oh my God.
Jesus, we have so derailed.
Totally
Sort
derailed.
of. That is a crime,
Yeah,
though. No,
yeah.
we haven't. Pedophilia is a crime.
Absolutely.
That's fucking
just
crazy,
abhorrent. It's so terrible.
Yeah.
But again, it goes back
Which
to the
ties
culture.
to prostitution,
Yeah,
what you talked
yeah.
about. If they're
The
legalizing,
sex trafficking across the border from,
should they legalize prostitution?
Another podcast.
Another podcast.
Another podcast. But yeah, you could peel that back and say, okay, no.
That's what he
Oh
said.
God. As soon as it was halfway out of me saying it, I was like,
Yeah,
no.
you were gonna say as soon as it's halfway out of my mouth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what she said. Office, boom, boom.
Yes.
Wait a minute. These aren't guns. These are fingers. I'm not.
You just shot our audience, you
Am I
son
brandish?
of a
Should I just brandish?
bitch. You
a
did. You
weapon?
did. You brandished a finger gun.
Jesus.
We're gonna have to cart you off into the paddy wagon. But yeah, so I mean, okay. So let's wrap up. We're about 5 after, so we're getting close to the battery dying. But basically, the crime, it comes back to the culture to where, and then also the government
Being
locally.
responsible.
Yeah, being responsible
And
just,
making decisions that are best for everyone, not
well,
just
yeah,
them.
yeah, and not making the basically the government is incentivizing crime, unfortunately, right?
Yeah.
And they're encouraging it, unfortunately, and they're not
Sucks.
prosecuting. So it comes down to a lot of the culture and the demonizing of the police.
Yeah.
It comes down to the government basically incentivizing low level crime, right? Because they're not prosecuting it. So there's a lot of things that we need to obviously change
As a country
as
as
a
a
country as a whole,
Yeah.
to try to improve. So right,
Yes.
to make sure that we back the good police officers,
Right.
get rid of the bad ones. And again, it's the non-lethals that are helping.
Right.
It's the body cameras that are holding people accountable from both sides of the obviously the encounter.
Oh yeah.
To also the government officials at a local, district, and city and state level, all the way up to the federal level, that need to encourage and foster those and improve relationships, right? So, but yeah, so
You know what's fucked up? It's here. I think I said this in our last one that got lost. Is if we went into anywhere, and stole a stick of gum, they'd be like,
when we were kids or now?
now even
Oh,
here
yeah,
by
yeah.
us, because thankfully that they bust down on crime still. But
Well, yeah.
you try to steal a soup can and
Oh yeah.
hey,
Well,
right?
yeah.
Now you can walk out with a plasma
And again,
TV
that's
and,
the evolution of the way that they've seen
Yeah.
crime and the way they demonize police, etc., and change the culture to where
How
they've
much is a
encouraged
new
that.
PS? How much is a new PlayStation?
A new PlayStation?
Is it under $950?
Oh yeah, it's under
Hey.
$1,000.
This is Rough Bastards.
No, don't even. Yeah, steal me a PlayStation. Come on.
Just fucking
No, do not
with
commit
it. We're
any
just
crimes,
joking.
folks.
Fucking get your shit
Respect and
together.
obey the law.
Well, you want to know what? It is government, but it is also society as well. Because
Yeah.
society, just citizens in general, should be like,
Yeah.
hey, fucking
Democrats
stop.
are encouraging it, and Republicans are just jellyfish with no spine to
But no, not. It's just
fight
people,
back.
people
Yeah,
in
yeah.
general.
yeah.
Fucking get your shit together, right? Our
Okay.
government, everyone, get your
There
fucking
you
shit
go.
together.
So, message for our crime episode is
Get
your shit together.
Fucking shit together. We don't get to steal PlayStations.
I know, right?
You shouldn't either.
So, bastards, stay classy.
See ya.